How's it going, ladies and gents? It is a rare thing in today's times that I actually have pretty much every single model of the Chevrolet Traverse. So I figured this would be a fantastic time to do sort of a crash course on the different trim levels to hopefully help you make a decision on which trim you would want to go with if you were looking at a brand new 2023 Chevrolet Traverse. So I have my pumpkin here filled with all the keys. We're going to start with the LS model. We're going to work our way up. But before we do that, let's talk about some of the things that are the same in all the models, such as the powertrain. One of the first things you'll decide when looking at a Traverse is, do you want a front-wheel drive model or do you want an all-wheel drive? Now, the best thing about the all-wheel drive is obviously better traction in snowy conditions, things like that. But you also have the control to turn it into front-wheel drive. So on a day like today here in New Jersey, where it's sunny and it's dry out, you could actually run it in front-wheel drive and possibly get a little bit better fuel economy. If you're driving another day and the conditions are a little sketchy, well, you just turn that knob, you go back to all-wheel drive, you'll have some peace of mind and you'll have some better traction. Now, in this video, we are talking strictly about all-wheel drive because that's pretty much how we configure like 95% of the Traverses we have. People in our area generally want the all-wheel drive. It is about $200 to $2,500 more expensive than a comparably equipped front-wheel drive, so know that you will pay a little bit more if you want it, or if you don't need it, you can save a little. And it also will sometimes change the packages and how things are sort of equipped. So again, for this video, everything we're talking about has all-wheel drive. Every 2023 Chevrolet Traverse is also equipped with a 3.6 liter V6. Now, this is a naturally aspirated engine. There is no turbo, there is no supercharger. It does achieve 310 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque. It is linked up to a 9-speed automatic transmission, and in this combination, this vehicle really has no trouble accelerating to speed, merging in on highways, climbing hills, doing all the things that a vehicle needs to do of this size. You know, remembering that this is a 3-row vehicle where you can fit 7 or up to 8 passengers, depending on how it's configured. The powertrain here is backed by a 5-year, 60,000-mile warranty, so you are covered if you have any issues. What I always tell my clients, the only time you ever really pop the hood, if you're not doing any maintenance yourself, is to fill washer fluid, which you'll see here, or if you need to jumpstart the vehicle or jumpstart another vehicle, in which case this here is your battery. You have a real nice bright red positive indicator here for your positive terminal, and then you can ground it right to this grounding post, which is in a nice convenient spot as well. Now, I recommend you stick with your Chevrolet store for any routine maintenance. So other than those couple things, there's really not much else you're gonna ever have to do under the hood. If you wanted to check the oil, you can do it right here. With this powertrain, the Chevrolet Traverse does get about 17 miles per gallon in the city, 25 on the highway. That is in all-wheel drive. Again, in front-wheel drive, you might be able to achieve a little bit better. And this vehicle has a max tow rating of 5,000 pounds. All 2023 Chevrolet Traverse trims will also have what's called safety assist. There's a camera up inside this little section of the windshield here, and that camera can see vehicles, it can see pedestrians, it can see lane lines. So it gives you the extra safety features. The forward collision alert with emergency braking. It gives you the lane departure warning with lane keep assist. And telebeam, where the vehicle can actually cycle your high beams on and off for you. So a bunch of safety features, again, standard on all 2023 Chevrolet Traverse. Now, this Chevy Traverse I've been hovering around here is our LS model. This is our entry level, our base model. MSRP of this vehicle, $37,915 as equipped. We're going to pull this one out first. We're going to start here. The vehicle does have keyless entry. You do have your entry buttons on your door handles, and it is a push button start. So that's something, again, that will be standard in all models, because basically whatever you see in this model is either included in everything else or replaced with another feature. Our 2023 Chevrolet Traverse LS only comes in a cloth interior. It is only this combination. It is a jet black and chai interior, and it also only comes with a second row bench seat. You cannot get bucket seats in the second row in the Traverse LS. If you want bucket seats, you have to go up to the next trim. In the driver's seat here, you do have a manual seat, so you can have the lever underneath that you can use to pull forward and back. You are going to have side-mounted controls here where you can actually raise the seat higher or lower and recline the back portion of the seat. You have a tilting telescopic steering wheel, which is standard, so up, down, in and out. You can move that to get comfortable. You have things like automatic headlights. They all have power windows, power locks, power mirrors. They're all going to have cruise control. You know, this sort of stuff is pretty much standard all vehicles these days. Just like on our color touchscreen here, you're going to see, of course, the backup camera. This does have some real nice tech features, including Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is wireless, so you don't have to be hardwired in. If you want to plug your phone in for charging, you do have a couple of USB ports here, and you do have USB ports in the second row and in the third row. So if you have your family in a vehicle, everybody's got devices, everybody can remain charged on a road trip. In the center console, you have some nice storage spots for cell phones, things like that. You have your cup holders. You have a nice storage here with the tray that pulls out. You do have standard glove box, you know, that sort of stuff. Again, pretty standard in most vehicles, and it would be standard in all the Traverses across the board. Now, if you're buying a vehicle of this size with a third row, you probably have some family that's going to be in this vehicle, right? So you want them to be comfortable as well. Second row seats do recline. You have a handle here on the side. You pull that handle up, you can recline this and have a little added comfort. There is also a bar under the bottom where you can move this seat forward and back, probably 4 to 5 inches as far as travel. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you more legroom for the passengers in the third row. This is a 3-passenger third row. It does have 3 shoulder belts for your rear passengers. And just to give you an idea, I am 6'5". My head is not touching the ceiling. My knees are just about scraping the seat with this seat pushed forward. So you know someone at my height can actually fit in this vehicle. You also have a nice handle here. You just lift up and you can slide this nice and easy forward to get in and out of the third row. If you walk around the back here, we'll open the cargo area. Now, obviously, if the third row is up and you have passengers here, you want to at least have some cargo space as well. This has a nice amount of room. You do have some hidden storage underneath, or you leave the door up or take the door off and you have more depth to your storage. And if you're not using the third row, you basically pull these straps. The headrest is going to fold down, you push forward, and it'll fold flat. When you fold the second row seat flat, now you're going to have flat storage for whatever kind of cargo you may be carrying, and you have great versatility where you have some space for cargo, some space for passengers. Now let's just say you say, Dave, that's a great vehicle, but I want more features, I want more options. Well, the next step up would be the LT model, a 1LT with a cloth interior. And I happen to have one right here. Now on the exterior, one thing I failed to mention on the LS is everything comes with LED headlights and taillights and that sort of thing. If you look at the LT, you're gonna get some chrome accents on the grille, which you do not get on the LS. On the LS, you'll notice that you have black mirror caps, whereas on the LT, they're now body color with integrated turn signals, which you do not have on the LS. So there is a couple extra features you can get, you know, on the exterior cosmetically. Even the roof rack side rails, where you can attach your crossbars. That is not something that you're gonna see standard on an LS. They even put a different wheel on the car. Now this is an 18-inch aluminum wheel as it is on the LT, just a different pattern, a little bit different finish. Again, just to kind of set it apart from the base model. When you step up to an LT all-wheel drive, you can get remote start. You can also order the vehicle with a jet black interior, and again, you can get second row bucket seats. So if you want the captain's chairs, you got to step up to the LT. Inside the vehicle, you're gonna get a power driver seat, so you'll have your controls here for that. You're also gonna get heated seats in the front, so you'll now have heated seat for driver, heated seat for passenger. And I failed to mention in the last one, standard equipment on all the vehicles is an automatic dual zone climate, really actually tri-zone, because you can control the rear climate as well. If I go to the little climate icon here, you have front and rear that can be turned on or off, everything from your screen, or there's even access on the panel in the back where your passengers in the back can control the climate themselves. When you upgrade to the LT, you also get the 8-inch color touchscreen radio. It's gonna function exactly the same as the LS, it's just a little bit bigger, and you get the hidden storage behind it, which is a definite must-have, if you ask me. As far as the way the seats fold down in the cargo space, all that is exactly the same. When you go to an LT, you do get the power tailgate in the back. So if I press twice, we can open up this door, which is a nice convenience feature. And this is also a programmable door. So let's say you put your vehicle in the garage, and when this door is open, it's too tall for the garage, right? The door hits it. Where you can manually lower this down a little bit. You press and hold your button here until you see the taillights flash. And that is now the recorded height when you have it in the 3/4 mode on the switch on the driver's door. This 2023 Chevy Traverse LT all-wheel drive as equipped, MSRP $42,520. It does have the all-weather liner package, which is an accessory package you could add either when you build your truck from the factory or from our parts department once your vehicle arrives. As I was backing this vehicle up, I just realized I did forget one thing in the 1LT model, wireless charging pad, which is a great feature to have because now we have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So once your phone's paired up, you can just lay it there. It'll stay charged while you're using it. Now, let's say one of your requirements is you want a leather interior. We got it for you right here. It's called the 3LT or an LT leather. This is the same exact vehicle we just looked at in the 1LT, except it has a black leather interior. MSRP of this vehicle is $44,415. So you're spending about $2,000 more. Again, identical vehicle, leather interior. Of course, it's leather in the front, leather in the back, and in the third row. Now, if you want to upgrade your 3LT, you can go to a 3LT premium package. Once you get the premium package, you could add a sunroof, and I have that one right here. The MSRP of this vehicle, $49,285. That does include both the premium package and the sunroof. The sunroof is an extra $1,500. So you can go 3LT premium package without the sunroof if you want. This one happens to have it. Some of the highlights you're getting with the premium package, you're getting a specific 20-inch wheel. It's like a machine-faced wheel with dark pockets there. Sharp looking wheel, it looks great. When you upgrade that to that premium package, you're gonna get a lot of features that you're gonna see on the inside of the vehicle. I just realized, like every time I get into the next trim, I realize I forgot something from the trim prior. So in the 3LT, you will see a heated steering wheel. That's something that's gonna come standard once you upgrade to leather. When you go to the 3LT premium package, again, some of the highlights, you're gonna shift over to adaptive cruise control. So you will have both regular cruise and adaptive cruise. The biggest features of this package, in my opinion, is the cameras. So if we go to our camera icon here, where is it? There it is. You're gonna see that you have front camera, you have like a bird's eye view. You can flip back and forth between front and back. You have different angles looking down on the front, down on the back. You can look down the sides of the vehicle, you know, whether it be front or back. So you have a lot more camera angles. Your rear view mirror is also a camera. So if you pull this little tab, that'll give you an image of what's behind you as well. Right now, we're just seeing the wall behind us, but I can tell you that on the highway, let's say like the New Jersey Parkway here in New Jersey, it's at some points 5-6 lanes wide. You can literally see all 5 or 6 lanes in that mirror when that camera's on. It's awesome. You're also upgraded to a Bose audio system, and you also have in-dash navigation. We mentioned this vehicle does have the optional sunroof, and again, if you want to go to sunroof, you have to go up to a LT leather to get the sunroof. It has to be a premium package. This first sunroof here is going to open and close like normal sunroofs. It does have a shade you can close. The back sunroof there is just a skylight, which also has a shade you can close, but the glass portion does not open. In the back here, the bucket seats, the cargo space, the third row, the folding, all that stuff is identical to what we've been talking about in previous trims. The last highlight I want to mention, 3LT premium package, you hit one button, you can fold your mirrors into the vehicle. So if you are going into a garage or something like that, it'll make it a little bit easier. Again, 3LT premium package to get that feature. Now, I mentioned earlier when we looked at the LS and the LT, and now we move to a 3LT, sometimes the quickest way to tell these vehicles apart is the wheels. Because when you look at the front ends, they all have pretty much the same look. So let's say you want something that looks completely different and styled completely different, a lot more sporty. You go to this. This is the RS model. It's also known as a 2LT, which could be slightly confusing because basically it's like a 3LT premium package. In this one, the premium package is standard. The only thing you can add if you want is the sunroof, which this particular truck does have. Now, the best thing about this is the way it looks. It is all blacked out and stealth looking. It's sportier in the front where it has more of a Camaro style grille with wider openings. You have black bow ties, little RS badges, and then the main feature, when you look at the side, you have all black trim around your windows. You know, if you look at the LT next to us here, you have chrome trim. So it really gives you a real dark stealth look, which a lot of people like in today's day and age, and it gives you a real dark wheel as well. Pretty much the only chrome on the vehicle is around the headlight here, which I wonder why they did that and they didn't just do it to match the grille. You know, I guess just to give a little bit of contrast on the front end, or maybe sort of highlight the headlights a little bit. On the inside, everything is pretty much the same as far as equipment, things like that. It's just appointed differently. You have some gloss black trim, you have red stitching on your door panels, red stitching on your seats, your center armrest, your shift, you know, your shift boot here, that sort of thing. So it just has some styling cues again that are specific to the RS model. Again, this being what's called a 2LT, but just call it an RS. MSRP on this Traverse RS here, $49,795. So far on the LT models, I pointed out the majority of the highlights and features and things like that that make them a little bit different. One thing I didn't mention yet is the body panels. So we're gonna look at the white car here. It's gonna give us the best example of the contrast. If you look, the lower portion of the bumper, around the wheel wells, down the side of the vehicle is all a black plastic. That's gonna be, you know, that textured plastic that you see on most vehicles. That's on the LS and all 3 of the LT models. Now, the next upgrade from an LT3 premium package or an RS, which is the sporty style, would be the Premier, which is going to be the most luxurious model, that and the High Country, which the High Country I don't have in stock at the moment, but I have a beautiful sterling gray Premier here. First thing you're going to notice, or you may notice, is all those black plastic panels that we saw, or trim that we saw on the LT, is all body color on this model. You're also getting a specific wheel for the Premier. You're also getting a little bit more chrome on the front end, you know, more pronounced chrome grille, and you're getting chrome, you know, on things like your emblems, your side door panels here, your door handles, your window trim, your roof rack, and even some extra trim along the back fascia and the back tailgate here. You also, all the cars have dual exhaust, but this has like more of a rectangular tip versus a circle tip. Okay, we're back. I actually had an appointment coming in on this Premier model. They showed up and instead decided to go with the RS. So it was actually very funny. We just spent the time going over the differences of what the Premier had versus the RS and the options that we kind of went over. To him, he really didn't need. He's actually in a Premier Traverse right now. So he's going from a Premier to an RS because he wants that look, you know, that stealth out, blacked out look. Now, going back to the Premier model, when you look at the inside, we have a nice jet black interior in this one. You do have some like tan piping and tan stitching on the seats and you know, parts of the dashboard and stuff like that to kind of dress it up a little bit. There is a big difference in that your instrument cluster is an 8-inch screen, so it's not the smaller screen. It's full digital you know, readout for your speedometer and your driver information center. The Premier also has some different types of you know, different types of accents on the door panels. You do have a memory package, which is going to be something that if you want, you would have to go to a Premier model. Like the LT models, the front seats are heated, but in the Premier model, you also have a ventilated seat, so it can pull the air from underneath the seat, you know, up through it. The best way to use that is to put your air conditioning to the floor vents. This way it pushes the cold air under, and then that ventilated seat's gonna pull that cold air up through the seat. All the camera systems are just like we discussed. This does have the rear camera mirror. Here you get a little bit of a better view of what it's like when you're not just backed up against the wall. It is important to note in the Premier model that it only comes with bucket seats in the second row, the captain's chairs. You cannot get the Premier with a bench seat. They are heated seats in the Premier, the second row here. You have your climate controls like the other model. You have your USB, and we also have a 120 volt outlet as well. For the $1,500, we did add the sunroof, so you get the sunroof in the back, which is the skylight. You also get the one in the front that's gonna open and close like a normal sunroof. Everything with the seats, the third row, the way it folds, all that's identical to the models we've been looking at. This does have the power rear gate like we talked about in the other models. However, in the Premier model, you do have a kick activated gate. So as long as the key is in the back, you kick under the vehicle at the left-hand side of the bumper there, and you can open and close the tailgate. And everything back here is identical. It's still a manual folding third row like we looked at earlier. This spot right here is where you would have buttons for the power folding third row. Now, the only way to get that is to go to a high country model. Again, I do not have one of those in stock. If I get one in the future, I'll make a video about that. All right, folks, so in this video, we went over the 2023 Chevrolet Traverse, talked about the engine, the powertrain, the all-wheel drive, the front-wheel drive, the different trim levels. You know, it was nice that we had all of them here to show you. Now, to cover everything, the video would be so long that, you know, I did leave some things out. I tried to highlight the stuff that I felt was important and what might help you sway your decision from one trim to the other. So if you have any questions at all, put them in the comments. I'll answer them all. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.